Alright, just kind of waiting on a couple things. We might have Neohazard jump in for the stream. But right now I'm trying to get this all set up on a new computer setup. Even though it's the same desktop, I actually rebuilt it so that I'm now running on an SSD like a cool kid. Alright, anyway, today's gonna be a bit different since I kind of forgot that the Saturn's gonna be 24 years old as of this month. Um, and the last time I did a Saturn Potluck stream, it was playing Sonic 3D Blast. And we pretty much played that from start to finish because luckily that game's that short. We're not gonna be able to finish this game today, but I'm gonna throw this out there just to see what people think. This is gonna be Powerslave or Exhumed if you're in European territories. And apparently that game was way more successful over there than it was over here. But uh, for this game, it was pretty important for the Saturn, since not only was this basically going to be like one of the more technically advanced shooters on the Saturn, it was what helped bring Duke Nukem 3D and Quake onto the Saturn, as well as brought us the glory of Death Tank, which is one of the few 6 to 7 player multiplayer games that you can play on the Saturn. But I'm going to be quiet for this intro coming up here. Technically, in a way, Powerslave does run on the engine that runs Duke 3D, since the DOS version runs on Build, which is the same as what Duke 3D uses on PC. But they made a new engine just for the Saturn because there's no way the Build engine would work well on Saturn architecture. So we're about to see what kind of difference that makes. And let's crank up some sound here. And I'm going to be quiet for this intro coming up here, so I'll be right back. And by right back, I'll just be right here. Oh,
During the time of the pharaohs, the city of Karnak was a shining example of civilization that all other nations could only hope to emulate. Today, Karnak lives on, surrounded by the spirits of the past. However, something has gone terribly wrong. Unknown forces have seized the city, and great turmoil is spreading into neighboring lands. World leaders from all parts of the globe have sent forces into the Karnak Valley, but none have returned. The great power of this new empire is quickly crushing the best forces the human world has to offer. The only known information about this crisis came from a Karnak villager found wandering through the desert miles from his home, dazed, dehydrated, and close to death. In his final moments among the living, the villager told horrifying stories of fierce alien creatures that invaded the city, devoured the women and children, and made slaves of the men. Many of the unfortunate victims were skinned alive or brutally dismembered. Others were subjected to unbearable tortures, injected with strange substances, and then mummified while still alive. According to the villager, even the mummified body of the great King Ramses was unearthed and taken away. You have been chosen from a group of the best operatives in the world to infiltrate Karnak and destroy the threatening forces. But as your helicopter nears the Karnak Valley, it is shot down. You barely escape with your life. With no possible contact to the outside world, you begin your adventure. ready to accomplish your mission, praying to return alive.
Like how you were somehow partnered up with Indiana Jones and Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. But enough about these weird references. Oh man, Powerslave. I actually have a real soft spot for the Saturn game, even though, this has appeared on other platforms. Saturn version is usually considered to be the best one, since it's a better game overall. Like it also takes better advantage of the Saturn hardware than the PlayStation version did. And the PC version is actually more of like a straightforward like first-person shooter, and it was running in the build engine that wasn't quite as advanced as it eventually wound up being in Duke Nukem 3D. And yeah, you're going to hear a lot from Dom LaFontaine in this game. Even though the PC version had a lot of that 2D action from the protagonist of the game, your player character, he is 95% mute in this game, so we're not going to have any of that 2D nonsense going on. And this takes advantage of other pieces of Saturn accessories, like the memory backup cartridge, so that I can not lose my progress anymore. But let's go ahead and jump into this level here. Also, let me know how the audio balance sounds, because like I said, this is a slightly different setup. One thing you may not be able to see may not be able to see right away. I'm actually using the 3D analog controller, so I have the ability to control my speed to walk around as well as to like strafe. So I can barely hold the right trigger in, and then press all the way down, and I'll be going a lot faster. And there is a cheat that you can enter that lets you use the control stick to look around and use the face buttons to move around like you would on an N64 controller, but it's kind of hard to control that way, and even then, this game auto-aims for you a lot, so it doesn't really matter to play the game like that, thankfully. Now, I'm hoping the thought that's coming across your mind right now is not that this game might seem mediocre, because we're basically fighting a bunch of tiny scorpions. Like, that was the thing that kind of turned me off from, like the first time I played World of Warcraft, I was kind of bummed out by the fact that your first enemy is just going to be these tiny wild boars that don't really do much of anything. I always felt kind of underwhelmed by that. Anyway, so like the big deal of why about the Saturn game is it's more open-ended. Obviously, you start off with just a few weapons, like your scimitar here, and you run across a pistol, and then the game gradually gives you more weapons as we move on. And of course, there's only one pickup for the weapons, which basically means like you just switch to whichever weapon you want to refill your ammo with, and then you'll get more ammo for that particular item. Anyway, let's resurrect the corpse of Dom LaFontaine.
Welcome, mortal. I am King Ramses. When my body was laid to rest here, my name was not forgotten, and my spirit was blessed in the realm of the dead. For centuries I lived in splendid afterlife among the most powerful gods of the world. Now, my eternal sleep has been broken by a savage race of creatures known as the Kielmat. These beasts have stolen my mummified corpse and are draining the power from it to use as their own. If they succeed, chaos will spread across the earth like a terrible wave of fire, burning all living things in its path. The world as we know it will die a painful death. It is you, Great One, that must do justice for the sake of mankind and shun this evil. Seek out the 6 treasured artifacts that once adorned my tomb, given to me by the most powerful gods of Egypt, They too have been stolen and scattered across the valley and are highly guarded. These artifacts hold great powers and will help you on your journey. To begin your search, travel to Karnak and cross the high bridge on the east side of the village. Here you will find a great sanctuary that holds the first of the 6 mighty artifacts. If you happen to lose your way on your travels, return to this tomb and I will give you guidance. Fear not the power of the Kilmat. Instead, embrace the powers of the Egyptian gods. They will help carry you to victory.
Right, so Dom LaFontaine is King Ramses in the game, and he's basically going to task us to go across the lands to pick up all these different items, and then eventually obtain all the power that he's promising us here. But first, let's hop onto this camel here. But yeah, unlike the build engine version, you can go basically anywhere in the game. And there's multiple exits to each level, so we're definitely going to have more than one reason to come back to these stages, you know, at given points. One thing I was hoping to kind of show off for this game is the Kex Engine version, which is basically the guy who has done the remasters for the Turok games, and has even done like the free release of Doom 64 with Doom 64 EX. Basically got those games up and running in a unique, brand new engine, and has the ability to take advantage of like new hardware features like ambient occlusion, better frame rate, mouse and keyboard controls. Of course, with that version, it's running off of the PlayStation version, so we would be seeing like blue scorpions or whatever instead of these red spiders. And the PlayStation, like I said before, the PlayStation version has much smaller versions of these levels. Right, let's see. We're just gonna go ahead and bust this open. Because, as we can see right here, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to make that jump. So I'm going to have to come back to this later once I pick up a different item that lets me explore around a bit more. In fact, there's another path over here somewhere, but I'm not quite going to be able to make it. Ah. And there's not really a way that the game's going to let us hop on, you know, leapfrog off of these spiders and whatnot. But yeah, there's no way I can make this jump here, so we're just going to have to go back. When you're first playing this game, you're probably going to get lost pretty easily. Let's see, we already got health. So yeah, even from over here, we're still not going to be able to make that jump. And even then, we don't really want to go down there, because basically, any kind of fall damage we take, it'll kill us. And that was some water down there. Obviously, there's going to be swimming in this game, but our protagonist has the lungs of a chain smoker, so we're not going to be able to survive for like 5 seconds down there. But yeah, there's all sorts of cool effects going on. We'll be seeing some neat lighting effects going on that I was surprised to see, you know, running on a Saturn like this with a frame rate that's at least this fast. Obviously, it's going to look pretty primitive considering that most of the game is like 2D art. And we're already up to our next weapon in the game, the M60. The M6 there. And of course, just like any good first-person shooter, there's going to be plenty of different keys to pick up. This one, I think... Yep, this doubles the rate of fire. Which means I'm going to chew through my ammo pretty quick if I'm not careful. And finally, we get an enemy that's not a small scorpion or a spider or a rat or anything like that. And these guys are obviously way more threatening than these ankle biters here. Right. But yeah, you can definitely tell that this is a game that's using the 3D hardware of the Saturn. Since all the flats are basically rotating with the camera as you look up and down. And my apologies if the action might get a little nauseating. Although, I guess there's like a sense of weight to this character. Like there's, you know, some slight weapon, view bobbing. Oh, look at that. That's pretty impressive. And that's not even counting, like, the lighting that's baked into the levels either. But yeah, like, obviously this is not the build engine, so you can actually look up and down, and it looks like you're actually looking up and down and not just sliding a big picture. Which is what, you know, a real problem with the build, the build engine. Yep. There's a macaw somewhere. Oh. So yeah, that green goop over there, we don't want to jump in that, because that's basically death. Okay. And I'm a little worried because, you know, obviously if you die, there's no extra lives in the game, but it does just restart the level for you, so there's not really a way to game over, but the game just punishes you by adding tedium. Alright, so I'm going to try this here. Oh boy. Let's see. I was also contemplating on showing off the other lobotomy software shooters, you know, like Quake and Duke 3D, which is what they used. They used this game engine to bring those games over, because obviously for the build engine, neither Powerslave, the original, or Duke 3D, would work as is on the system. And then when it came to Quake, they had to find a way to get the game engine to work with 3D character models for the enemies. So it's not just working with like 2D sprites and flats. But yeah, as you might be able to guess, there's a fair amount of 3D platforming, first-person platforming in this game. And honestly, I'm actually okay with the way this game handles the platforming in it. Because at least you can see where your feet are most of the time. And as we go through the game will give us more power-ups that makes it easier to handle some of these different challenges. Yeah, but there we go. I'll just flick this switch here. Oh yeah, DF Retro. I wanted to mention that as well. If you want to know more about the history of this game, John did an excellent video on DF Retro covering Powerslave, and it basically covers like all three different versions of the game. Also covers the Kex engine version that had to be delisted. Um, and it just gives you like a brief rundown of like a lot of the technical marvels that went into the making of Powerslave for the Saturn, and of course other platforms. But I also wanted to mention that Kex Engine version, unfortunately, is not something you can easily download anymore, since it had a uh, like Sam, the programmer, the lead programmer for that version of the game, Powerslave EX, was issued a takedown notice by the copyright holder, despite the fact that Playmates is no longer around as a publisher, and Lobotomy Software has been long dormant. Like they've went out of business during the mid to late 90s. And now we have to pop these eagles that are working with these undead servants. Also, my apologies. The screen's a little dark on my end, but I'm kind of making do with what I remember. Oh boy. So one problem I kind of have with this game is, I swear, your character is like a giant cylinder or something. Because you can see that I'm slightly sliding down on that platform there. And if you were to play like Duke Nukem 3D, you'll definitely notice it's a lot harder to kind of maneuver Duke around, especially in like smaller spaces where Duke just doesn't seem like he fits in properly. Also, like I said before, you don't have to worry too much about aiming in this game. You can look up and down by holding the X button and then using the control stick to look around. And just tap it to center your view, but this game has a greater emphasis on exploration anyway. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check out that low score boy video then. Element up, yeah. Oh no, another macaw. But yeah, now we have the ability to jump much higher, and this is going to take us back to King LaFontaine. Whoa! I might stop muting my volume for Ramses here once we get our other guest commentators in, but for the time
You have found one of the 6 SEGA artifacts, and your worth as a sturdy slave has been proven to the Council of the Gods. The mighty sandals of Comtet give you the strength to leap higher than mortal humans. Use this gift to scale the cliffs in the northwest corner of Karnak. Beyond the cliffs is a steep path that leads to a shrine in the mountains. The artifact hidden in this shrine is a gift from Sobek, god of amphibious creatures.
Oh god, that stereo sound. Okay. Also, luckily, the game autosaves at every point that we finish a level, so I don't have to go in and then save my progress or anything like that, thank goodness. Like, it's just funny, like, how much faster the ability to, like, save your game progress is in this version. Oh yeah, so earlier, we could jump back up here and then reach the camel. And if we jump over the camel, well, I don't know how the camel somehow gets through and over this, but it does. Also, I like seeing the camel. Just so you'll notice, like, a lot of 3D games will just use billboards to kind of flatten the sprites out, but I kind of don't like that because it just looks like you're just fighting a bunch of paper cutouts. But then you see stuff like that, and then you realize, you probably don't want your your sprites looking like that. So we're going to go back to that point where I couldn't make that jump. And we're just going to skip these ankle biter enemies, because who cares? That macaw, though, I don't know, man. Alright. So now we got this key we couldn't really get to before. And we're just going to pop in here. Alright. I think on PlayStation they changed that item into a health increase, which is a lot more beneficial than just, here's all your ammo back. That said, we do want to at least go this way, because we do have the ability to jump higher now, so we'll just get nipped in the ankle there. Now there's a pool of water right there, but like I said, we're not exactly the best at swimming underwater right now. I mean, I can still get in, it's not the worst. But instead, I think the game wants us to get over here. Wait, before we do that, can we hop over the camel? Oh my god, we can. Now let's get our incredibly shrinking, flattened camel. Ah. So, one of the other objectives in the game is that you have to put together this transmitter. And that's going to help you get the best ending in the game. And you can tell a level has one when you hear that beeping noise. And unfortunately, this is about the point that I kind of stopped playing the game for practice. And you can barely hear it. Listen to that. So you can faintly hear that beeping noise, and it gets louder the closer you get to it. So in case you're wondering what that little noise is, you're not going crazy. Alright, so I'm hoping I don't die, because, like I said, we gotta restart the whole level if we're not careful. Ah, stop it. Okay. So let's hop down there. Alright, we don't want to get hit by that, but this is one of those transmitter pieces. The mouse. Or something, I don't know. The pager? This is the 90s. Ow. Yeah, this game does not like to fool around. We're already less than half health. Okay. So last time, I thought I was stuck down there, but I just couldn't see that platform that I was on right now. So that's a transmitter piece, but we're not really done with the level. Alright, I'm starting to feel a little better now. Alright, that's you. Uh, I like how these spiders are like somehow so heavy that they kind of squish your guy. Whoa. These giant basketballs. Yeah, that probably looked really weird considering, like, you know, modern shooters don't really play like that anymore. And it's such a high risk because you touch that lava down there and that's it. And unfortunately, these pots also contain bad guys, enemies, and explosives if you're not careful. Oh. Oh boy. Hmm. Well, let's see. Well, that didn't work out too well, did it? I think for the sake of time, I'm just going to take the main path, and we'll come back later for that transmitter piece. Because, yeah, as you can tell, unfortunately, once you bite it, that's it. You gotta, like, get all the pieces back, or whatever pickups that you got in the level are put back. Alright, let's run for it. Because not everything's spawned in. As long as I outrun everything, and then we're fine. Oh, but I suppose this key is for the door that's way over there instead. Okay. I do say, this is the kind of game I wish the Saturn had more of. Now, obviously, there's like the Saturn is home to a lot of great arcade ports, but you can tell after the likes of like Ocarina of Time and Final Fantasy VII, people kind of wanted games that had a little more to it, or at least something that would be long-lasting. I think we'll just leave that there. And what the heck, we'll try this again. Without killing myself, hopefully. There is one of the items you can pick up later on in the level, or in the game rather. Lets you float down, which is definitely welcome for a game like this. Hang on, I'm trying to shoot a bug with my giant gun. Ha ha ha! I got caught. Fine, I'll leave the stupid transmitter piece alone. Alright, let's speedrun it. Stupid bird. Alright, so we got that piece. I'm also dealing with some input lag, so there's not a whole lot I can do to fight that, unfortunately. At least not for the time being. I actually want to try and get into something that'll let me split the video for that. Because luckily, I do have a TV that does, that can accept the Saturn's small video signal. Alright. Dodge these basketballs. Which one was it? It was this one. Just kind of hold on to that for now. Oh, it's fine. Luckily, we can just super jump our way over all that nonsense. The Sobek Mountain Shrine. How does the camel fit through this hole? It doesn't know either. Looks like the chat client kind of died on me. Oh well, I'll restart that. Oh god. But yeah, this is another example of, if you look at the PlayStation version of this entrance, compared to the Saturn version, this looks way more impressive. Like, this looks far bigger, there's more detail to the outlying structure. Aim down, please, game. No, down, down. I guess there's something up there, and that's why my gun keeps going up. Yep, there is. I'll just get the pea shooter out. But yeah, you look at this. So aside from the lobotomy software games, we did have ports of like Doom and Hexen on the Saturn. And while I would say at least for Doom looked pretty cool on the PlayStation, and they chose to take that version of Doom and put it on the Saturn. And unfortunately, since the Saturn isn't really great at handling games like Doom as is, it ran so slow. It's not a good version of the game at all. And I liked PlayStation Doom quite a bit. It does run better than 3DO Doom, but oh man, I was contemplating on whether or not I should actually like play Saturn Doom on stream, but it's just not worth it, man. And believe me, I love Doom. There's a buzzer here somewhere, but I don't know where he's at. Yeah, we saw those lasers in that one room, and boy, those suck, because those are one-hit kills right there. Ah! Yeah, it's like this game knows when you're going to be in some trouble regarding your ammo. And I guess since it's so early on, they're pretty generous with those all-weapon refills. Oh yeah, I was also thinking, like, the Saturn version of Hexen is also not very impressive. So not only does that version run incredibly slow, it doesn't have any of the multiplayer stuff that the N64 version has. And all the sprites for the monsters only have front-facing sprites, which for the mid, like, 96, that's so awful. And even though I kind of like the N64 version of Hexen, purely for the fact that you can play the game co-op for 4 players through the entire game, you know, that 64 version has its own problems. Alright, don't blow up on me, please. But yeah, it's Hexen on Saturn is pretty much like the 32X version of Doom. All the monsters are front-facing. And yeah, we don't want to touch that. That's death. Okay, I don't remember anything about this. I think that's on a timer. I don't remember. Oh, well. Yep, they are. Thanks for that, game. Okay. Let's get our rainbow tank over here somewhere. Right, so I think that's another pickup over there, and I think we want to... Can't try to remember if we can just circle around this way. Oh, there we go. I meant to go this way. Yeah, I definitely appreciate these analog triggers and the control stick to kind of finesse my movement. Obviously, I can switch it to digital, and we can just play the game like we would on a regular Saturn pad, but honestly, I kind of like the added fidelity. Oh man, platforming. Let's see here. I think there's a bug over there or something like that. Let's see. Here goes nothing. Luckily, you can hold the X button in and it'll just kind of pivot you in place, but, you know, forgive me if I mess up here. Yeah, I'm using the 3D control pad, the Knights controller. Oh, there's a platform right there. I couldn't see it because it's dark on my screen. Alright. Like I said, it's high stakes, so I'm being a bit careful with my platforming. Huh, that didn't kill me somehow. Alright. And, you know, I guess it should probably be noted, this is on an actual Sega Saturn. This is not an emulator. I'm not even sure if this game runs well in an emulator. It probably does, but we gotta go for that authenticity. Huh. No, I'm just thinking, like, because, I could probably jump over there from here, but I could also... Well, theoretically, I could jump from there to there if the jump button would respond, but oh well. Again, I'm chalking that up to the input delay I've got to deal with here. Oh, man. jump height is pretty generous, I think. But like right here, I have nothing to like catch myself on if something goes wrong. Alright. But yeah. Come on, volley another one. Ow. Love those lighting effects. That's so cool. Okay. I swear, you could be able to... You should be able to, like, just jump across. Or something. Oh, well. Let's just play ball here, I guess. Oh, I guess that's how it stops you, but we do get this. So that's water right there, which probably means it's the breathing mask. So now we can actually see how much air we get. Of course, we have very few weapons we can use underwater. You can hold the button down to kind of pump your way through, but you can just rhythmically tap the jump button, and that'll let you swim across pretty easily. Cool. Ramsey's talking.
You have succeeded in collecting yet another cherished artifact. Your heroic skills have kept you from joining the kingdom of the dead. Travel south now, through Karnak, and cross the Great Nile River. There you will find a strong weapon that will break through the stone of a weak wall. Beware though, for the path that leads beyond will take you to a place where a horrible beast dwells.
Please fight the big boss man. Alright, so I think that means we're going to have to go back to Karnak again. Whoop. I don't actually remember if we need to get that that one key. So I'm probably risking it by just going straight there to this area. Luckily, our guy runs just about as fast as Doom Guy, so I think we're fine. Yeah, here's the stopping point here for if you don't have that mask. Because you're not really going to be able to make it through this. Uh-oh. And of course, our health and air meters are separate, so have to be a bit careful about that. Oh boy, I just noticed what's in the water. And the swimming controls. So like I said, when you're in the water, the control stick makes you look around, but when you're on land, that's where it just makes you move around and turn. Yeah, I guess the one thing I should probably point out, you know, one of the limitations of this version, there's not really any transparencies in the game, so I think, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was VDP-1, the graphics chip on the Saturn, when it's in use for 3D, the only way you can kind of convey transparency is by giving a dithered mesh to an item that you want to be transparent. And if this was a CRT with composite video, obviously that would look a lot more impressive than what this does. Now this gives us more health, thank God. Right, so this is back over here. We went full circle. Oh. Okay, we should be able to open these through, I think, that. But yeah, it's definitely been a while since I played this, so I'm going to try to kind of reorient myself. Hey, there we go. This looks a bit promising. Ow, damn it. Alright. We'll space jump here. Yeah, I haven't played too much of the PlayStation version, so I can't really compare to how the game controls. But I kind of like the way it controls on Saturn here. Yeah, I'll just catch all of them in my face. It's funny, I kind of get this vibe that I'm playing a Saturn Dreamcast game. If only because, you know, the 3D analog pad is pretty similar to a Dreamcast controller. Of course, the Dreamcast is only missing 2 face buttons, and the control stick is arguably weirder on Saturn. So if I recall, we only get one other weapon that works underwater, but for now it's just going to be this. And if we start to run out of air, it's going to start taking health away. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think they want to jump in the water. Come on, monster infighting. Right, so that's another transmitter piece that the game wants me to go get. Also, the screen's a bit dark on my end. Let me check something out here. Ah! Isn't the PlayStation version's music more action-oriented? I think I recall that being a thing. Because I do kind of like the way this track works for this game. Well, not quite what I wanted to do, but it works. There we go. Let's just do this. There's definitely more sound effects in PlayStation Powerslave compared to this one. I'm sure the developers just wanted to kind of take extra time for the PlayStation version, since obviously the game did not come out simultaneously on both platforms. Because PlayStation version had to get more work done just to get it going. And I guess one other fun tidbit, you'll notice on PlayStation, there's not really a port of Quake 1. There's a version of Quake 1 on the N64 through Midway, and then Lobotomy did the Saturn version of Quake. But apparently the Saturn version of Quake was supposed to make its way over to PlayStation. But I guess by about that time, that's when Lobotomy Software had to kind of close its doors. Okay. Sorry, it's just really disorienting to try and get on land after you're trying to get out when you're trying to stop swimming. I think that's the next weapon? It is. The Amun Bomb, which is basically just a grenade type of weapon. I don't want to blow up the thing in my face just yet. Hey. So look at that. There's some transparency going on with the gun, since this is rendering in VDP2, so it doesn't have to worry about using a dithered mesh. Well, that's kind of the benefit of working with VDP2 to work with your 2D art, but there might have been something in there. Again, the screen's dark on my end, so forgive me if I'm not seeing this quite right. I'm just going to do this anyway. Yeah, I figure that's not the right one. There it is. What? Who's snorting? But yeah, it's pretty strong. So don't be too afraid to use it, but you don't get too many to use at a time. But yeah, these are more useful for hordes than they are for some of the regular type of enemies. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to throw a bomb at this. I know those are more annoying to fight on PlayStation, at least going by DF Retro's video. since for some reason it wants you to do more manual aiming to take those guys out. On Saturn, you don't have to worry about that too much. This might be a bad idea. Oh, yeah. I can't back up either, so that sucks. Try one more time here, because, remember, this is the other weapon that works underwater. Nailed it. Alright. Well, like I said, I can kind of keep going at this point, so we don't have to worry too much about, getting 100%. Though I would not mind doing that. Oh, just go back through the window. I don't want you. Let's try that. Ah, whoa. I don't think we can quite get to that, at least not yet. Again, it looks dark on my screen, so... yeah, I think we'll have to come back to this. Peekaboo. I gotta reload my blue orbs into my gun here. They're still kind of there, though. I didn't want to refill that. Oh well. Yeah, I think we just went backwards or something. Yeah, I think I remember this now. I'm not sure if I want to... what is that down there? I think that's death, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it looks like there's some kind of doorway down there. This map is not really helping. I don't know if anybody in chat remembers if it's okay to go down there or not. Oh. I'll at least get that. Let's see. Let's kind of retrace the steps here, because I haven't gone that way. Or have I? Let's see, I got that key right there. No, that's all good. Why do I have this feeling? Okay, nothing's open there yet. Get up. Get the... Okay. Okay. Look at the map one more time here. Because unfortunately, I can't quite make it up there. And then when there's too much stuff going on screen, my map starts to disappear on me. Should probably just keep the map on here. Because, like, there's this stuff up here. And we haven't really gone up there either. Wait a minute. Oh, well. Because I know we've been here before. Well, obviously that's where the bomb came from. I think that's the entrance. Yeah, it's the entrance. Of course, it could also be trying to tell us to kind of go backwards. No, I don't think it would want us to do that. Okay, there's that hole over there again. I think there was like some pathways around here somewhere that I failed to go through. Okay. Right, so that's over there. And that's just a little hole over there. Yeah, because you figured we'd want to open that up somehow. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm just going to risk it and just try it down here. Let's at least look down. Off. Yeah, that looks like some kind of death. But it almost looks like that there's like a room down there or something, but not really. Yeah, I don't think that's quite right. Oh well, I'm just gonna try this real quick. Alright, come here, you. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking through a walkthrough, but the only walkthrough available is one for the PlayStation version. And of course, the PlayStation version has these team dolls that you would pick up and gives you like some goofy bonuses. Yeah, shucks, that sucks. I'm sorry, y'all. Alright. I'll make one more pass around and see if I can find something new. Like that. But I think it's just another pathway to get through here. Yeah, I feel like I want to get up there somehow. But how would you do that, game? Yeah, but let's see. So that would mean somewhere along this pathway here is where I would go to. Okay, yeah. Ah. Oh my god. Well, stuff's starting to kill me, so I found the way forward, I guess. Oh, man. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't mean for that to happen. But I need the symbol of power. Oh, come on. And the only way to do that is that key that's over there, so... But this is Amon Mines. I could at least make my way back to, where that key is. But again, I don't have the ability to stretch my arms. Like, I almost feel like there would be something in here or something like that. Like this. Come on, game. That better not be it, or I'm going to be very upset. Alright, we got the keyboard part of the laptop transmitter. And now to make it out of here before I drown. I can't believe I didn't find the square path. What? That wasn't even it? That must mean... I have to go here. And I hope it's not underwhelming. That's much more like it. Whew! Alright, I think we're back on track. Sorry. Oh, I didn't mean for that stupid long detour. Oh well, I still like this game. Alright, we got the symbol of power now, which means we can go back over this way. Oh god, let me retrace a bit here. Yeah, it's not quite what I want here. Yep, there we go. That's more like it. Oh yeah, this is way better. Oh yeah, the all-seeing eye lets you view the entire map of the level, but obviously we just want to get out of this level. Uh-oh. I don't care that I jumped off. I don't want to die after all that. Okay. And luckily, the game gave us a shortcut. Ah! Camel, where were you with my backup? Just don't fall in the fire, please. Okay. So I believe there's 8 transmitter pieces. We passed up one, but it's pretty easy to go get. I just hate these bugs. Yeah, like Ramsey said earlier, it's supposed to be like this... I guess it's supposed to be like these alien-like creatures known as the Killmot. And they teamed up with mutant spiders and flying insects and hawk people. Or hawk birds. Also, luckily, they seem to be pretty forgiving when it comes to just making you focus on combat and platforming separately. Alright, I guess we'll be invisible then for a bit. I do like that. Obviously, it's not real lighting, it's just a texture flickering, which is still pretty cool looking. Oh no, Mummy Man. What's shooting me? And those guys shoot these snake heads at you, which is not the best thing to deal with. That's just health. Ah! That's probably a bad idea. Well, so far so good. And luckily we know to use our bombs like that. But it's a health pickup, so I guess we could skip it for now. Ow, what the... How'd you get in here? Wait, is that a door, or do I do this? Oh. I didn't use it. I'm gonna guess... I probably want to run from this. Yep. Oh, come on, game. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, that sucks. So it does, let you throw those things far. But you gotta hold the button in order to be able to, throw it further. So there's that transmitter piece, then... What is stopping me? Oh, it's the door. Stop that. Stop it. Come on. Alright, like I was trying to do before. Okay. Yeah, I guess the developers were inspired by Metroid for when they were thinking about doing these platformer-like sequences. In fact, it's not too dissimilar to something like Metroid Prime. And of course, that is kind of relevant to bring up since the developers of Metroid... Not the developers of Metroid Prime. No, these were ex-Nintendo developers that went to form Lobotomy Software. Alright. Yeah, it was the Turok people that went on to work on Metroid Prime. Because, since the Turok devs were based in Austin, I believe? We're getting framey here. But that's the game, not me. Oh yeah. There was that one person in the chat earlier, Reddit-chan, I think? Was talking about how the PlayStation version, like, he didn't seem to like it too much, but, these environments on Saturn are way bigger. Like, all the levels that we went through that had, like, these sprawling areas are kind of shrunken down to accommodate for PlayStation hardware. So again, if you're looking for a version of Powerslave to play, it's this one, pretty much, hands down. Oh, I need that. I'll risk it. But yeah, I bet that looks really primitive by today's standards to a lot of people. It's just this giant lava pit. Okay, I think we're coming up to a boss fight. Because I vaguely remember this? Yep. What the hell is he launching? Oh, he stunned me. Get up, slave man, or whatever your name is. Ah. Hey. Thankfully, this game seems to do a pretty good job of making sure most of your weapons are still effective, no matter when you get them. Ah, come on, I could have used that. Oh well. Press V twice and hold to float from a jump. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's the Reddit-chan person was in the YouTube chat. So it's not a double jump, but you have to jump and then let go and then tap and hold, or press and hold to float down like that. So now, we can cross that chasm. And I guess we're going to have to bow down to the king to receive our orders, so I'm going to be quiet for a second so I can figure out where to go.
Your fearless displays as a warrior provide hope for this dying land, and your quest for peace will bring you just rewards. A deep cavity has been excavated in the south, where there is rumor of a fierce weapon that engulfs its victims in a breath of fire. Go there now and harness its power.
I have to admit, I was halfway paying attention. I don't know where to go. Let's see then. Set palace, set arena. Back to Karnak. Almond Mines. But yeah, we don't really need to go anywhere near there anymore. Okay, so we've defeated Set. Oh. I'm quickly breezing through this FAQ because I want to try to check something real quick because it brings up a really good point. Okay, we're full up. So basically you would want to come back here anytime that you're low on health or ammo, and then you can just quickly get all your stuff back. But yeah, I think the game wants us to go here. Okay, but before that... If I jump down now... Oh, no! Luckily, we get all of our stuff back and we just restart the level, so it's not a big deal. That's a mean fall. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm back. What happened? I don't know. I'm gonna kind of rotate around. Well, why am I doing that? I got this handy map here. Yeah, but I kind of feel like there's not really much else that we could do here. I'm trying to read the FAQ, and it's telling us to go back to the mines, but they might have changed that for PlayStation, so we don't really need to go here anymore? Oh wow, they're fighting each other. Yeah, it's telling us to go northwest, and northwest is over here. But the problem with that is that the exit is over here. So I think we may just have to go back out. Or you know what, we could just do this. Because I'm lazy like that. Sorry, y'all. I'm kind of fumbling through this FAQ stuff here. I really don't want to waste y'all's time, since there's not too much time left to kind of check stuff out. let's just try to go to Karnak Sanctuary. Because I'm trying to remember where exactly we need to go to, because we do have one new item, which is the ability to float down. I don't quite remember why we want to do this here, but it couldn't hurt. We'll just... Ah, you know what? I think this is the way we want to go. And again, forgive me for, not really remembering a whole lot, so we can hop back up here. It's a bit of a shortcut. I don't want to be near that, though. Ow. Way to catch that with your face, Powerslave guy. Oh, something's shooting me again. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do something like that. Yeah, unfortunately, when you restart a level, you have to go back and get the keys again. Alright. Alright, let's get past this mosh pit of spiders. Much better. Because we want to grab that. We want to get out here. We'll leave that there for now. But, now, we have this whole section over here. That's right. Okay, so the FAQ is talking about this green goop that it doesn't want you to touch, because that's instant death, basically. Ow, what the... Oh, the cause. Wow! And unfortunately, if you touch it, it's basically just going to kill you no matter what. But we got to make our way over there somehow. But I could also be misremembering a couple things. Because it didn't look like I had a place to go to. Oh, man. I'll try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, I might just go ahead and call the stream so that I can plan out where to go next time. Because I'm having fun. Except for the part where I get lost. And I'm sure we'd want to check out more of this game, but, you know, what the... Did I skip the key somehow? Anyway, in the spirit of the Saturn Potluck, I figure... Oh. Again, the stupid pots are blocking me. What the... There, thank you. Anyway, in the spirit of Saturn Potluck, we want to kind of check out more of these Saturn games in detail. Because, like I said, it's the 24th anniversary of the Sega Saturn. And there are definitely some forgotten classics that would love to have your attention. And I think Neo Hazard, unfortunately, oh, no, okay. It doesn't look like he's able to hang out with us today. And yeah, it looks like this is a fruitless endeavor. There's no way we can get past this. Because it probably wants us to kind of walk on top of that, or something like that. Or at least something that won't just immediately eat us up. Oh yeah, Dark Savior. I do want to try to play some more of that. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. If this doesn't work... Nope. That ain't happening. Alright. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and kind of call this a stream at this point, because I'm kind of lost. I would like to come back to this at some point on stream, but at least for the time being, I think that's a pretty good look at Powerslave on the Saturn. It's still one of the cooler first-person shooters on the Saturn, and it certainly runs way better than most of the other first-person shooters on the Saturn. And this came out well before Turok, and to be quite honest, I kind of like this more than Turok. Any of them. Ah, well. Yeah, we'll call it here for now. We might come back to this game some other time, but in the meantime, we'll go ahead and do this studio mode, and guess I'll catch y'all next time. Uh, keep an eye out on my Twitter on Bartman30 at Bartman3010, because Carson's gonna go through a scattershot of Saturn games on his stream on Wednesday. Uh, at least that's what I believe that's the 411 at this point. But uh, yeah, no, Saturn makes me happy, and I will definitely try to find any other excuse I can to play more Sega Saturn. But yeah, we'll leave Powerslave Guy to his mission. In the meantime, I'll catch y'all on the next stream, and more SEGA Channel Retro stuff coming in the near future.